Good evening. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm a trader and technical analyst, part of the Chart Guys community, and we're going to do the market recap today for January 24th, 2024, and it's a Wednesday, and Tesla earnings just came out, and they had a miss. Let's go look at that chart real quick. They had a miss. They are down almost 5%. We'll see if they recover. I believe the conference call is scheduled for 5:30 Eastern. Oh, let me put my face a little smaller so you can see the chart. So I think it's scheduled for 5:30, so that could move this. So don't get too fixed in that it's down. It could be up after the call, or it could be down even more. The call is more important in guidance. All right, let's look at the market. What happened today? So the market overall, we're giving up a lot here because of Tesla. Tesla's a much larger weighting in the SPY than Netflix is, so this would have a bigger impact. We're losing the hourly 50 MA, and now on the next bounce, we're looking for an hourly lower high. That kind of changes the character of the charts because we've had hourly uptrends for a while now, but now bears have made plenty of room for lower highs on the next bounce for ES, NASDAQ, RTY, and YM. So tomorrow we'll be looking for hourly lower highs, and maybe it's time for the bears to get involved. And semis look pretty toppy. I did want to mention that Dan will be putting out a cannabis video tonight. Be on the lookout for that. And GDP tomorrow, PCE Friday. So we have GDP tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. And then Friday we have PCE. And we have lots more earnings coming out. And as I've been telling you, next week is FOMC interest rate decision. Okay, back over to the markets. So SPY, when we look at it on the 5-minute, we just filled the gap, the prior day high. We just filled the gap at the end of the day, and that's kind of where we bounce. We're pulling down a little more now because of Tesla earnings. So overall, we gave back a lot, but it wasn't terrible. We're just now re-entering the prior day's range. And then at noon, we had the 5-year note auction right here at 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's 11 a.m. my time. That marked the top of the market. Sometimes those things are coincidence. I'm not saying that that's the reason we dropped, but it did happen at the same time. QQQ did not even come close to prior day range. So that's still showing some bull strength. However, of course, you don't like the way they closed. IWM attempted a gap up right into yesterday's resistance and then proceeded to break the low. So IWM is definitely the weakest of our Fab 4 futures. Dow on the next bounce, we talked about looking for that hourly lower high. On the 4-hour, we lost the support, but just by a bit. We'll see if that can hold. VIX was the bigger story for me today. We held this daily support of 1235. We held this support and then we bounced. VIX got a really big bounce going. So that was part of the reason for that, for the VIX to bounce and for the market to pull back. They're inversely correlated. Okay, semis were leading again today. Standouts were ASML, NVIDIA, SMCI, and then AMD. So SMH was the story this morning. They led and then they topped out at that 5-year note auction and then pulled back. But semis really kept the market pulled up today because we had names like XLV that were weak all day long. And semis were offsetting that. All right, I wanted to take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is weak. It tried to bounce. It's giving it back now. We, in theory, have enough room for a 4-hour high or low. We'll see if bulls are able to get that. There is some elevated bear volume on this pullback compared to the push up that was low volume. That would have me concerned as a Bitcoin bull. We have the dollar. The dollar just got some strength coming in. We've made enough room for hourly high or low. This is on my radar. Is this a potential 2-week bear flag on the dollar? That would be good for market bulls. If this VIX, is this a 2-week bear flag? That would be good for the market bulls. So I'm watching that on Dixie and on VIX, and I happen to be watching it on oil as well. Oil, I'm looking for a potential 2-week bear flag. Doesn't mean it's going to roll over, just that's the pattern I'm watching. All right, so the dollar it got some strength and kind of correlated with the market pulling back, VIX bouncing and dollar bouncing. XLE had a pretty big green day. Oil had a good day. Nice strong close near the high of day. XLF still didn't re-enter the prior day's range. That shows it's still strong. XLB was very weak today, led the way down. Johnson & Johnson had earnings this morning, I believe, and weighed on them. On the next bounce, you would look for a lower high. Consumer discretionary was weak because Tesla's in it. So Tesla has been weak, so consumer discretionary has been weak. We have gold rejected at the daily 50 MA, sitting on the daily 200 MA. Despite the dollar strength, dollar weakness this morning, this is all we got out of gold. They could not get through that 2039 resistance, and then when the dollar started bouncing, gold really rolled over. Oil, we're still not through this 76.10. If we look above and fail on that 76.10, that just gives more validity to that 2-week bear flag thesis. Apple held the prior day low. It did not break that low, but it was weak the last half of the day. MSOS, and again, Dan will be putting out a cannabis video and go over this in greater detail, but we've been watching for this 905 bull break. I would say we did a good job. 19 cents is a good job. You just don't want to see that upper wick of profit taken. You want it to close near the high of day, but overall, pretty impressive move. We talked about the squeeze that we have on MSOS in the pregame this morning. NVIDIA, that was one of our live show call outs from this morning. We bought it down here at 601. When it held prior day high, that is a long signal. It had a great, wonderful day. And at this point, it has enough room for hourly high or low compared to low of day. But bears will be looking for, on the next bounce, a possible lower high. I think the semis are getting a little toppy here. They're getting ahead of their skis. Tesla is bouncing back a little bit from their earnings reaction, so we'll see how they recover. DWAC was a nice volatile name today, and it broke through the prior day low. I'm looking for further consolidation on this name. Microsoft was our queen of the mountain name, and we traded this live to the long side down here at open. It held up pretty good for most of the day, made a new all-time high, and then consolidated with the rest of the market. But as you can see, it also did not come close to the prior day range. SMCI, we bought that at open. That was 3 of our 4 trades. And I say I bought it, and other traders let me know that they followed me on the trade. So SMCI, we had a huge move up, new all-time high, gave way too much back. So now bears will be looking for a top fish against 49678 on any bounce tomorrow. Affirm was our 4th trade. This was our queen of the mountain trade. Is looking for a top fish. What I had said is any reverse back burner on the 5-minute, I wanted it on Affirm. We got it right at open and it melted all day. This has become my new favorite shorting stock. And we talked about the semis. IWM was weak. All right. I think we got everything covered. We'll see how this kind of shakes out with Tesla, and I will see you TCGers in the room. Oh, one more thing. Give me a follow on Twitter @ChartGuy Lori and hit the like button. All right. Y'all have a great night.